Hey guys.
Hi.
What'd you do today?
What did we do first?
We went to City Garden.
Oh yeah.
How was that?
It was fun. Oh.
What is it like?
It's a bunch of fountains.
It's a little nature-y oasis in the middle of the big city life. That's what the security guard told me.
Is it working or not?
I think it is working.
Yeah, it's working.
It's fun. I wish more people knew it was there because I've never heard of it.
Oh, well, I knew it was there, so.
What is its purpose? Like, what do you think it does for the city?
Probably just gives a place for, like, families. Like, a nice place, because the city's all buildings. And it's all, like, torn and, like, nasty looking.
Mm-hmm. It draws, I think it's a good thing to draw people down to the city because it's very green and open. I liked it.
What did we just do?
We were just at Osage Cafe Osage.
Something like that.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was good.
Good food. I had a salad
So did
and some cake.
The lettuce was really big.
Do you think it's working or not?
Yeah, I think it's kind of working. Like, I don't think it brought a bunch of people to these boarded up buildings.
No. But I like this area. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's working for itself.
Yeah.
Designated public housing. Those public housing units, depending on your income as you qualify for public housing, you might pay some rent on them, you might pay no rent at all. It's based on a proportion of your income. Basically, no more than 30% of a person's income should go to their housing, including utilities. So if you're a free tenant, you also get, so you basically have no income, qualified for public housing, you actually get a utility allowance to help you pay for your utilities as well. In New Orleans, there's such a need for any housing, and our market rents are not as high as sort of luxury market rents, and they're not, a lot of new construction apartments have pretty high rent. Ours aren't that high. Ours try to stay within the realm of older apartments within the neighborhood. So in New Orleans, there's just a huge demand for any market rate apartment. But a lot of people also who move into the market rate units at our sites are people who have connections to the neighborhood. And they may have a connection, they may have a relative who's living in public housing, they may have grown up in public housing, they may be from, further up in the neighborhood and realize this is the nicest place to live.
Yeah.
So we'll have a combination of sort of what you think of as market rate renters in terms of young professionals who want to live in an urban area and an urban environment coming in. But we also have a lot of people who just no longer qualify for subsidized housing, but they live in this neighborhood, they're from this neighborhood, right. With connections to this neighborhood.
I moved into Boulevard in 1988. My son was 8 months. My son now is 22. I have a daughter that's 28 and a daughter that's 23. All my kids have graduated from high school, and my oldest daughter has a PhD in some sciences. She's some kind of scientist. She likes experimenting and everything. And she lives in Phoenix, Arizona. Tucson, Arizona, she got married. But I said that to say that living in public housing is, some people think it's a put down, but it's not. It's where you live, you make your home, and you can live there. You can raise your kids there and go on.
I personally came out here because it was different. I've been here for 17 years now, and the reason I came is I was working in Pennsylvania, worked for a company that was an international chemical manufacturer. We bought a division of Monsanto, and they're looking for people to come here for 10 to 14 months. And so I said, yeah, sure, I'll go to St. Louis for a little while, and came out here and fell in love with Forest Park, and started working and really got into my job, and looked at my watch 8 years later and realized that I had lived here much longer than I expected to, and then started to figure out what St. Louis was all about in about 1999, and explored around and compared the cost of living that I had here and the access that I had here to the arts and to a lot of networks and to great restaurants and a relatively low cost of living and relatively short commutes and ease of access, and decided I really didn't want to live back on the East Coast again. I certainly didn't want to live on the West Coast, and I've traveled a lot. I've been substantially to most of the U.S. 43, 44 states in the country, and traveled around the world, and I like it here. So I can't say with definitive certainty that I'll be here my whole life, but my family's here, my kids are here, and we'll be here for a while longer.
Fifth floor.
Stairs.
Did you get one?
At that point, and this is only in St. Louis County, every city had to decide whether or not to be a point of sale city or a pool city. A point of sale city would keep the massive bulk of its sales tax within its borders. Pool cities would take most of their sales tax and provide it to a county pool, and then we would get back a lot of that money on a per capita basis. Cities had to make the decision then on